House for lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Patrick and Michael, would you lead us in the Scout Law, please? Thank you. This meeting is convened in accordance with the provisions of the Open Publics Meeting Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing a notice in Asbury Park Press on Tuesday, January 8, 2019, and also forwarded to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBM News on Wednesday, January 3, 2019, and thereafter posting same on a Town Hall bulletin board for such notices and filing same with the Township Clerk, pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on January 3, 2019. The notice was also published on the Township webpage.
Roll call. Councilwoman Yurick.
Here.
Councilman Kubel.
Present.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Present.
Councilman Roderick.
Here.
Councilman Turnbach.
Here.
Council Vice President Hill.
Here.
Council President Whitman.
Here.
First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of March 28, 2019.
Move the minutes into the record.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
This is for March?
March 28th.
May
28th.
28th.
May 28th.
May 28th, yes, okay.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next, we have our honoring resolutions and presentations. First, we have our Toms River Community Art Project Hall of Fame Award going to Yvonne Yar. Next, our Girl Scout Silver Award, Art Heals, going to Sophie Regney. Next, the Eagle Scouts Patrick James McElroy Jr. and Michael Sean Angelos. Next, Toms River Pride Day by Exit 82 Theater Company. And lastly, the Toms River Historic Preservation Commission for their Huddy Park panel presentation.
Move the resolutions and presentations into the record.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes,
Council President Whitman?
Yes. Council, you want to join me in the well?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our council meeting tonight. We have a couple of very interesting presentations that are going to be made by our councilwoman, Laura Yurick, having to do with art in our community. And we've really been blessed by having some talented folks here in Toms River who've contributed to some of the murals that you see around town. And we're very grateful. But I'm going to ask Laura if you want to come over and make that presentation.
Okay. Actually, and we'll call Marshall Kern up too. So Marshall is actually spearheads the Community Arts Project. So I'm just going to say one quick thing. So, yeah, come on in. So I'm the council liaison to the Community Art Project, which is actually built into our master plan, and to promote arts in the Toms River area, especially downtown, to further development and interest in coming to Toms River and living here, working here, and playing here. So Yvonne Yar is our first inductee into our Hall of Fame. She is an extremely dedicated member of the CAP. Her art is very evident around downtown. Her signature pieces are the beautiful mosaics that you see around on the walls in town. She is also an inspiration to others, as you'll see in a few minutes. She supports us on every level, in front of us on the walls and behind the scenes. She's very supportive of every artist in town and helping us build our program. So now I just wanted to let Marshall say a few words because he's in charge of the CAP.
Thank you. Now that you've said everything I was going to say, I'll make a couple of points. The Community Art Project is here for everyone in town. We always look for volunteers. We're looking for all the talent that we do have in Toms River. I'll make a couple of points. The first one being, we're all volunteers. No one is paid on the Community Art Project. And the second thing for everyone in this room, no tax dollars are being given to the Community Art Project. All the treasures and talents that are given to the Community Art Project are because people want to make Toms River a better community and a better place for everybody who's here. So we really appreciate the opportunity and have the township support all the artistic things. The murals, the sculpture exhibitions that have been downtown are all part of what volunteers have done, raised volunteer dollars and made it happen for a better community for everybody. And as the mayor and Councilwoman Herx mentioned, a big part of that has been Yvonne Yar, and we're thrilled for the Community Art Project, the Toms River Community Art Project, to induct Yvonne as our very first recipient of the Toms River Community Art Project Hall of Fame. So congratulations.
Now, I'm going to do the Girl Scout. Let me introduce. Okay. Now we have one more art award, and it's the Girl Scout Silver Award entitled Art Heals. And I'm going to ask Lori once again to do the honors to our recipient.
As the former Girl Scout myself and Girl Scout leader, I get to do all the Girl Scout awards. So Sophie Regney, please come up. So usually we have proclamations for girls who've earned their Gold Award, and the Gold Award is frequently equated to the Eagle Scout Award in Boy Scouts, and it involves being a senior or ambassador Girl Scout and many hours of volunteer service. It has to be a sustainable project that will outlive the life of the project itself, you know, just the activity of building it. So Sophie is a very unusual and very ambitious Girl Scout because she earned her Silver Award. That is the highest award a cadet can earn, and you have to be in intermediate school level, and that is also the second highest award in Girl Scouts. And it requires 50 hours of volunteer service, but from what I understand, Sophie did 150 hours or more. There were also prerequisites that she completed, including a cadet journey and other prerequisites. She was mentored by Yvonne Yar. So that's what really makes it even more special tonight, is that she beautified downtown. And that is one of our goals as a township. And so she really went above and beyond, and that's why we wanted to present you with the proclamation tonight. And
Just on behalf of the mayor and the governing body, we all want to echo what Councilwoman Lori just said and present you with this proclamation to congratulate you for what you've done. Please keep up the good work. We
We want to see you back for the Gold Award. Sure. Yeah, Yvonne, you can come up. And then we'll let Sophie, do you want to say something? You have a half hour. No? Okay. Come on.
Nice job. Nice job. Thank you, ladies, and congratulations. Now, the next awards on our program tonight are 2 Eagle Scout awards to Patrick McElroy and Mike Angelos. And as usual is our practice, our in-house Eagle Scout, our councilman and council president, George Whitman, usually makes those honors because they speak the same language. So, George, there's...
Thank you, Mayor. So can we call up Patrick first? Okay. So this is one of the things I really enjoy about being a council member and be able to make presentations, because you hear all about all the negative things about youth, and here you have the best of Toms River come before you tonight. And as I said, Patrick is an Eagle Scout, and in order to become an Eagle Scout, there's a lot of steps that required. One of them is to get 21 merit badges as part of that journey, and is also to go through the ranks of the various ranks from tenderfoot all the way through Star Scout to Life and then Eagle. And normally what happens is anyone that's in this position as an Eagle Scout, as a part of the troop, they're looked up to by all the boys in the Boy Scout troop, and they're usually a leader. So they're either a senior patrol leader or some other rank within the troop. And the life skills that they learn and the character building skills, I think, are very important and often overlooked. And so the scouting brings out, I think, the character in the boys and really helps them in the future. And so there's a lot of different Boy Scouts that go through the program, but only about 1% make it to Eagle Scouts. So I think that's important distinction, because you're in the upper echelon with only 1% of all the boys and Boy Scouts that become Eagle Scouts. And I also like to speak to some of the skills that you'll learn. So if you wanted to learn how to row a boat or paddle a canoe, or sew or cook or camp, or there's a number of different activities that are required as part of that. And I think it's important that those skills, life skills, you can use later on. So we'd like to congratulate you, Patrick, on becoming an Eagle Scout. And the last thing I'd like to say is there's also a project that's required. So I'm going to ask you to speak about the project. There's a community service project that's required for each Eagle Scout. I'd like you to speak to the project that you worked on and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, for my Eagle Scout project, I went to Caddis Island and I asked the director there if there were any projects that needed to be done, and she gave me 2 options. One was to build benches for a boardwalk that was near the nature center, and the second was to build bike racks. And because I do custom woodworking at Vocational, I decided to build benches for the boardwalk. It took me a couple of months to plan everything, to gather all my materials, and to fundraise for building the benches and pricing out materials. And I completed it over the summer. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. We have a proclamation for you, signed by the mayor and the council, and a coin as well. Okay, thank you. Next, I'd like to call up Michael Sean Angelos. Michael, would you please come up? Yeah. Hi, come on up. So, as I said earlier, the requirement is 21, and I asked Michael's parents, well, how many merit badges did he attain? And he said 42. So he definitely doubled up the requirement. So that's part of it. Can I ask you what your favorite merit badge was?
Citizenship in the nation, because I'm actually becoming a history teacher later on in life, so it actually prepared me for my future career. So it has like covered from the Declaration of Independence to, ironically, to the Reagan administration, since they did not fully update it enough. But they cover pretty much everything from like US 1, which is like 1775, to now 1990s.
Rather than be redundant, can you tell us about your project and what you attained in order to get the rank of Eagle as far as your project? What did you do and how did you go about it?
My Eagle Scout project was at St. Joseph's Parish, and since I like to give back to my local community, especially as we believe in Scouts, the duty to God. And one of the biggest things in my duty to God was to give back to my local church. So I planted a rock garden, and for all the ones that are not familiar with rock gardens, it is a desert kind of like garden with silver euonymus plants, yucca plants, and barberry plants. Now, why did I choose those plants? Because of only one reason. There's a lot of heat back there, and instead of planting regular plants that you plant in your backyard and drying them all up, I would rather prefer something that will last a lot longer, which lasts in a dry environment such as the desert.
We have a proclamation as well as a township coin for you as a part of the presentation. I'd also like to point out that both Boy Scouts and the Girl Scout that we just presented to, will have their names on plaques downstairs. So there's a plaque for all the Eagle Scouts from 2009 to present, as well as all the Girl Scouts that received the Silver Award from 2009. So your name will be on that plaque, and that'll remain in Town Hall. So we're going to make one up, name tag up for you, and you'll have that as part of the plaque.
I just want to say this. He talked about that garden. I belong to St. Joe's, and I've seen it, and it's really well done and a nice addition and asset to the church. And I have to say this. When you started talking about wanting to be a history teacher, I thought when I was getting nervous, I thought you were going to say you wanted to be the mayor. No? Okay, congratulations, Mike. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, our next presentation is the Toms River Pride Day for Exit 82 Theater Company. Somebody is here from...
Okay, welcome. This is Billy Cardone and Keely Davenport of Exit 82 Theater Company. So, you're hearing a lot from me tonight. 50 years ago this month, when homosexuality was considered illegal in 49 states, the New York City police raided the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village. And they arrested the employees, and they beat the patrons. And as they were loading one woman into the police wagon, she looked at the crowd that had formed outside and said, "Why don't you guys do something?" And with that, what would become the LGBTQ movement had been started. So 50 years later, we've come quite a way from a time when homosexuality was punished as illegal behavior to a time when it is celebrated as a natural state of being. And we are very lucky here in Toms River to have community leaders like Billy Cardone and Keely Davenport who are willing to take risks and lead us toward the goal of equal treatment under the law and in society.
Hi. Thank you so much. Like Lori mentioned, this is a monumental month in the history for LGBT plus community, and I'm not sure that you realize the incredible impact that you're making on people not only in our community and the children in our community, but people in Ocean County and New Jersey and beyond. This day means a lot to very many people, and I just want to give a sincere thank you for making this possible. And we look forward to a bright future. Exit 82 is committed to not only being our hometown theater, but to create positive social and economic impact. So thank you so much for having us today.
Good one. The last item on our agenda that was announced is the Toms River Historic Preservation Commission and the Huddy Park panel presentation. You all know from being in town that the governing body in the town sponsored a renovation of Huddy Park to its really natural beauty, and our township engineer, Bob Chakalian over here, got an award from Bob. Where did that award? Okay, for the outstanding job that Bob did in the design and the township in rebuilding it. And it's a showplace, and it's got great historic significance to our community. As you know, it's named after Captain Joshua Huddy, who was the captain of the blockhouse here when the British attacked Toms River during the Revolutionary War. And so there's a lot of history there. And our Historic Preservation Commission, in order to get that history well known, commissioned a series of panels that you see on display here and in the hallway, setting forth the history of Toms River at that period of time. And they've done an outstanding job. These plaques are all going to be installed permanently throughout the sidewalks in the area in Huddy Park, and one down at the Shelter Cove, because that's where the salt fields were during the Revolutionary War. And so I'm going to ask Cindy Smith, who's the president of that commission, if she would come up here, please, and just kind of explain what's going on. And Stacy Probst, our in-house public information officer. So, hey, here. And you got 20 minutes to make a speech.
Yeah. Okay, talk right into it. The Toms River Historic Preservation Commission is very pleased to present these to the mayor and the council tonight. Another set has already been installed down at Huddy Park. There are 5 panels down there now that describe the history of the park itself, as well as the history of the blockhouse fight and the attack by the British and the Loyalists in 1782 that nearly wiped out the entire downtown, which was really the only part of Toms River at that time, of the village. Except for 2 houses, people were left homeless for years until the village was able to rebuild itself. But in any case, what we did as a commission is we decided that it would be proper to tell that story about the attack and the story of the park. And we did that through 5 panels that you see here with illustrations and photographs. Obviously, there were no photographs in 1782, so we have artist renderings of what went on. And there is one more panel that will be installed at Shelter Cove Park that tells the story of the Pennsylvania Salt Works. And that is also part of the story of the attack on the township, or the village, really. So I'd like to invite any other members of our commission to come up. All right. Oh, Francine, oh, good. Actually, Francine's father was one of the artists for one of the panels. Oh, and Nick is here, okay.
You can hold the up here for the picture. This is at the entranceway. Okay.
George, do you want to get that end of it? Yeah.
Well, this panel is actually a welcoming panel to tell visitors to the park who is responsible for it. And basically, it is the township itself, you all, because you are taxpayers and you helped to pay for this, and also to the mayor and to the council, to our engineer, and to the Buildings and Grounds Department for the installation. And the main thing I'd also like to mention is we hope that the geese will enjoy reading these panels too. On a flyover, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, thank you. Yeah.
Just want to mention, as the public information officer and a member of this commission, how hard everybody worked, and thanking Cynthia Smith as our fearless leader. And we hope to see more of these panels in other parks around town. So this is the beginning of what we hope will be a great venture for the town.
That's going to conclude these presentations, but I just want to tell you, if Council President Whitman and I had been in office when the British attacked, they never would have made it. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Congratulations. Appreciate it.
If you want to change it again, you have to do it right now. But right now, that's what it is.
Continuing on with the agenda, item number 7 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, supplementing Section 477-61, Schedule 3, no stopping or standing of Chapter 477, Vehicles and Traffic, of the Township Code to establish no stopping or standing restrictions on a portion of Joseph Street in the Township of Toms River, New Jersey, and this is a final reading.
This is a portion of the meeting open for public comment in this ordinance only. Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance or have a question, please raise your hand and identify yourself and come up and tell us your name and address.
Maureen Stryker, 136 Joseph Street. This resolution for Joseph Street was not what the residents had petitioned for and believed was the safest and best resolution for the street, which was for a one-way. However, the town administrator and the town engineer worked with us, and because the homeowners believed in the safety of the street, they support this resolution, and some of the homeowners are here this evening. We are glad that the council will support, hopefully, and pass this resolution tonight. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak on this ordinance?
Seeing none, move to close public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Move the ordinance on final?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
First, I'd like to say thank you to the residents of Joseph Street for coming out, expressing, your concerns to us, and to our police department for doing the traffic study, our engineering department, and our administrator, for everybody getting together and coming up with a compromise. We'll have something in place for this summer, because this is a final reading tonight. So it'll be going forward and moving forward once the mayor signs it. But we're taking a step in the right direction. Is this perfect? We don't know. We're going to see how it works out, but at least it's something better than what you've had in the past. And going forward, hopefully, this will be an improvement to the quality of life of the residents of Joseph Street and also in Sunset Manor. So I vote yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Urick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbuck.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
The ordinance is adopted. Item number 8 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 516, Animals of the Township Code to establish a Canada Geese Control Program. Final reading.
Again, this is a portion of the meeting open for public comment in this ordinance. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Okay.
Hi, my name's Shara Colucci, and I live in Wortley Beach. And my dogs have been Goose Patrol dogs in Lavalette for 6 years. The parks in Lavalette are gorgeous. There's no goose poop anywhere. And that's because the dogs are allowed to just play in the yard, basically in the fields, frisbee, ball, whatever. Just their scent keeps the geese away. It works very well in Lavalette, and I'm excited for Toms River to start doing it.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alizar Zoraju. I'm the director of the Toms River Business Improvement District. I just wanted to commend the council and professional staff for implementing this program. It's a very unique and exciting opportunity to really clean up Huddy Park. And knowing that this was around the corner, the bid is bringing a new event to the park. It's the first time we'll return to Huddy Park since the farmers market used to be run there many years ago. And starting June 26th and every fourth Wednesday of the month through June, July, and August, we'll be hosting a Huddy Park game night along with the Toms River Fire Department and other local nonprofits to encourage people to utilize the beautiful Huddy Park once again. So thank you again for this program, and I look forward to seeing the Goose Patrol take over. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Seeing none, move to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Move the ordinance on final.
Second?
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
I'd like to thank Dave Roberts, Craig Ambrosio, Bob Chakelian, and Jared. I'm going to forget his last name for some reason. Tate. Thank you. And Mr. Guardian for working with me on this ordinance to hopefully solve the goose problem. It's very successful in Lavalette, and we look forward to the success in Toms River. So thank you so much. Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
I vote yes, and I'd like to say that I've used this company in the past, or a company like it in the past, in the private sector, and it worked very well. So I look forward to seeing the impact it'll have at Huddy Park and other locations.
Next on the agenda, item 9 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, authorizing the public sale of a portion of tax lot 21, block 724 at 610 Garfield Avenue in the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, to a contiguous property owner pursuant to NJSA 40A:12-13 B5. First reading.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 10 and 11 were removed from the agenda. Next is item 12, a resolution of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, in support of keeping Cathedral of the Air, U.S. Naval Air Station at Lakehurst, New Jersey, and urging the federal government to declare and designate the Cathedral of the Air as a historic site.
Move the resolution. Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Hill, Council Vice President Hill, second by Councilman Kubel. Council Vice President Hill.
Yes, and I want to thank George for bringing this forward. This was, we had several people approach us at the Memorial Day Parade. This is an historic cathedral. If you've ever been out there, it's beautiful. The stained glass windows have different eras of flight. As you know, that was the Navy headquarters for lighter than air, so a lot of that is shown in those stained glass windows, and it's a real treasure, and it would be a shame to sell this property. It should be a historical site, and George, thank you for bringing it forward to the council, and I vote yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
And Council President Whitman.
Yes.
All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately.
A is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing refund of overpayment of taxes to various properties. B is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the sale of abandoned and/or unclaimed motor vehicles pursuant to NJSA 39:10A-1. C is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing an amendment to the contract for Moby Mats for the Toms River Beaches with Deschamps Mat System, vendor number DESCH005, using state contract number 16-Fleet-00143 Park and Playground Equipment, which was awarded by resolution dated November 27th, 2018, in the amount of $598,754.10 for an amended additional cost of $12,470.20 for a total project cost not to exceed $611,224.30. D is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the purchasing division to advertise and receive bids for real estate auctioneer services. E is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing a contract to purchase one replacement roll-off vehicle for one damaged in an accident for the Department of Public Works from Robert H. Hoover and Sons Incorporated in the amount of $125,268.33, and Omaha Standard Incorporated doing business as American Roll-Off in the amount of $42,912.24 for a total combined maximum amount not to exceed $168,180.57 using Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Cooperative Pricing System, contract number 17/18-30. F is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing a professional service contract with the firm of ARAS Associates to assist the Township Engineering Division in the final design of stormwater improvement and the preparation of construction documents at River Terrace and Point of Woods Drive for a maximum contract amount not to exceed $19,000. G is a resolution of the Township Council amending budget revenues and appropriations for the fiscal year 2019 Clean Communities Grant in the amount of $232,912.76. H is a resolution of the Township Council amending budget revenues and appropriations for a 2019 Ocean County Transportation Grant. I is a resolution of the Township Council imposing charges incurred under Section 3 of the 2006 International Property Maintenance Code as a lien on real property and directing the tax collector to collect these costs and impose interest on unpaid costs in the same manner as provided for in the collection of real estate taxes in the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey. Item J has been removed. K is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the execution of an employment agreement with Chief of Police Mitchell Little. L is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Block 921.09, Lots 6, 7, 8, and 9 at 3462 Route 35 northbound. M is a resolution of the Township Council releasing performance guarantees and accepting maintenance guarantees for a landscaping plan known as Block 852, Lot 32 at 3324 Route 37 East. N is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the renewal of club liquor licenses for 2019 through 2020. O is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the renewal of liquor licenses for 2019 through 2020.
Okay, thank you. Anyone on the council like any item discussed separately?
Need a
Council
roll
President.
call on F. I'm sorry.
Okay, so item F, you'd like a roll call on? Okay, yes.
And item G.
And you need you want a roll call on that?
I don't want a roll call, I just want to.
Okay, separate. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, how about the public? Anyone in the public like anything discussed separately? Any item discussed separately?
Seeing none, move the consent agenda.
Second, except
Except for
for
items F and G.
F and G.
Second.
A motion was made to move the balance of the consent agenda items with the exception of items F and G, made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes. Item F, you want a roll call on that?
Yes.
Okay. Do I We have a roll call on item F.
Motion on item F?
Second.
Motion was made to move item F by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
I'm going to abstain from F.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes. And lastly, item G, you'd like to discuss that
Council
separately?
President, with regard to item G, I just want to recognize Don Guardian and Jim Rotella, who's our grant writer. And Don Guardian's responsible for bringing Jim Rotella really to Toms River, and he's done an excellent job. This grant, $232,912.76 towards the Clean Communities Grant, was the third largest grant obtained in the state of New Jersey, only behind the cities of Newark and Jersey City. So Jim Rotella is doing an excellent job, and Don, you're to be commended for bringing him to us, and we really appreciate that. I would move item G.
Thank you.
Second. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Motion was made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes.
Next on the agenda are the reports. We have Bailey Golf Course for the month of May of 2019 at $118,848.11 as compared to this time last year at $114,974.53. The Bailey Golf Course the year-to-date through May for 2019 at $348,180.84 as compared to last year $314,934.67. The Winding River Ice Rink for the month of May of 2019 at $54,846 as compared to last year in 2018, $46,793.96. The Winding River Ice Rink for the year-to-date through May of 2019, $428,292.17 as compared to 2018 at $437,857.78. The building permits in the month of May of 2019 at $321,092 as compared to last year at $177,673. Building permits year-to-date through May of 2019, $1,187,329 as compared to 2018 at $909,896. The beach badges for the year-to-date through May for 2019 is $278,455 as compared to last year, $138,410. And the pool badges year-to-date through May of 2019 at $4,050 and as compared to 2018 at $2,175.
Move the reports into the record.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next, we have the bills.
Move the bill list.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilman Turnbach.
Abstain from PO 19-03185, payable to the magistrates. PO 19-02916, payable to Judge Gluck. PO 19-0455, payable to Siddle Holzappel. PO 19-02849, payable to the Dasty McGuckin Law Firm. And PO 19-02804, payable to Tonks Waste Oil Service. I have a conflict with those. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Kubel.
Abstain to PO 1902-849, lines 5 and 13. PO 1902-686, line 10, and 1902-866, line 1, payable to Community Medical Center. And PO 19-02921, payable to Toms River Fire Company Number 1. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstained from PO 19-02704, payable to Remington and Vernick. PO 19-03185, line 21, Toms River Township salaries only as it pertains to the recreation salaries, and PO 19-00619, payable to the Borough of Lavallette. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Abstain to PO 19-02785 and 19-03080, 19-03177, and 19-03185, lines 100, 107, and 108. They're all payable to NJ MVC. I have a conflict. Also, PO 19-03129, payable to the Chamber of Commerce. I have a conflict. And 19-02849, payable to Gregory McGuckin. I have a conflict. Yes to the balance.
Councilman Roderick.
I have no conflicts. I vote yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes with the following abstentions: 19-02686, 19-02866, payable to Owen Little, 19-02849, lines 5 and 13, payable to Community Medical Center. I have a conflict. And 19-03172, payable to Toms River Board of Education. Yes to the balance.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next, we have elected officials' comments.
Okay, before we start with that, I have a letter to read. It's from Heather Barone, who is a planning board member, It's dated June 11th, 2019. It says, "To whom it may concern, I want to first and foremost apologize for the way I worded my post and apologize for any problems I caused the Toms River Planning Board. While I firmly stand behind the reasons for my post, I understand and take full responsibility that there was a better way to convey my disappointment in what I have come to find out. Since being on the board, I've been forced to recuse myself from various applications by the board attorney. This situation I put myself in would allow further recusals and become a distraction for the board. I've been personally harassed, stalked, and verbally attacked prior to and during this election process, and it is something I've learned to adjust to. However, now after the election, these occurrences have taken a serious turn to include tactics that put into jeopardy the well-being and safety of my children, and for that reason, I must resign effective immediately from the Toms River Planning Board. Sincerely, Heather Barone." With that, I'll turn it over for comments from the mayor.
Yeah, I have nothing. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Councilman Hill.
Thank you, Council President. I want to thank everybody for voting in the primary. It was interesting, the vote for the mayor was actually higher than some of the candidates further up the ticket, which is unusual. Usually there's a drop-off in voting as you go down, but it just showed the interest in the mayoral election. It was a very heated campaign by the three candidates. The most powerful tool we have in preserving our democracy is our right to vote. And again, I want to thank everybody who came out to vote and exercise that right. Most countries don't have that privilege. As we go forward, you've seen a lot of campaign signs. We all had them out. We've tried to remove some of our signs. Please, if you notice any signs for Hill, Latano, Kopp, and Gagan, to please contact me at my email address, which is my name, mohillusnr@comcast.net, or call me on my cell phone at 732-606-6544. Let me know the location, and I'll have them removed immediately. During the debate, we all talked about shared services, and I'm going to ask the mayor and the business administrator to investigate ways we can partner with surrounding towns, and also in particular with our school system with the problem they're having financially this year, and see if there aren't some services that we can share with both the school board and the township that might save the school board some money going ahead with the difficulties they're having. With that, I yield my time.
Councilman Roderick.
I have nothing this evening.
Councilman Cabell.
I have no further comments.
Councilman Turnback.
Thank you, Council President. I'm happy to report that on June 6th, 2019, just last week, our proposal, our resolution on the Code Blue to raise the state standard to at least 32 degrees, made it to the Senate Law and Public Safety Committee. It was considered there and approved there, so it's been passed on to the full Senate. The hope is that within these next 3 weeks, it'll be approved by the full Senate Assembly and signed into law. So we're very happy to see that this resolution is making a positive change throughout our state. It's a bipartisan effort on behalf of this council. And we owe thanks also to Senator Singer, Gopal, Kane, and O'Scanlan, who all sponsored this bill. So very positive news for Toms River, and something we as a council should be proud of. That's all I have.
Thank you. Council. And Councilwoman Maruka.
Thank you, Council President. I'm just going to ask our engineer if he could contact DOT. They have actually placed a sign on Route 35 as you're going east. Route 37 as you're going eastbound. Notice of bridge construction. They're going to be doing some work on the Mathis Bridge. I'm not sure to what extent it's going to be, but there is potential of possibly shutting it down for maybe a small period of time and then using the Tunney Bridge as east and west artery. So if we can follow up with that, maybe PD might have something there, but I haven't seen anything come into our office. I don't think anything's come into your office yet as per our conversation, but that would be great if you could follow up with that, Bob. I'd really, really appreciate that. And also, I just want to thank Mr. Chinkalian and also Craig Ambrosia from Buildings and Grounds. It has been, I was going to say, a monumental project over there. The dunes was done by the Army Corps, but everything else with the post-in rails, with the mats and things like that, all of that has been put in by the contractor, but all the little tweaks and all the, things that have to, like when you build that house, 95%'s done, then it's the other 5%. Well, those 5% of mats and posts and rails are really coming to fruition now because all the beaches are open and everybody has been emailing or calling and asking for a little tweak here, a little tweak there. I just want to thank you both for the attention that you've given to the residents at Ortley Beach and also to the northern beaches on that. And then I just want to mention one event that's taking place this Saturday, Hope Sheds Light, which is a great organization in our community. They are dedicating their butterfly garden, and I believe that starts at 11 o'clock on the property over on Chestnut. So if people can come on out and support Hope Sheds Light and the great organization and the great work they do in our community. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Urick.
I think I've said enough tonight. I have no further comments.
I have no further comments as well. So at this point, I'll open it up for public comment. I'd ask you to come forward and state your name and address for the record, and we have a 5-minute time limit. Anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Angela Laudadio, and I reside at 2030 Route 35 North in Ortley Beach. I represent the Condo Association of Candlelight 3. I've owned this property since 1993. It has been my full-time residence since it was restored in 2013. The property is located on the northeast corner of Route 35 and 2nd Avenue in Ortley. We sustained considerable damage from Sandy, both inside and outside. Only now are we, the association, able to concentrate on the grounds, which is the reason I'm here. The issue is our sidewalks and curbs. Approximately 40 feet of missing curb and walks around our parking lot, which we are planning to replace. However, the 48 feet of missing curb enclosing our property destroyed by Sandy on 2nd Avenue remains unfinished. The sidewalks and curbs existed until Sandy. The safety of our owners and visitors is a concern. Since there are no curbs, cars fail to use our driveway and instead drive on the stones, causing safety issues. Curbs would eliminate this problem. I am asking Toms River to investigate this problem to determine whether we can count on Toms River for help. We need your help. Lastly, condos stand on all 4 corners of 35 North and 2nd Avenue. I observed that walks and curbs extend to the end of property limits of all the neighboring condos. I would like to see that our property restored to the existing standard. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'd ask our township engineer, Mr. Shinkalian, to come up and explain to us, what the story is there. Are we going to replace the curbs, or is that on the list, or?
FEMA, as we all know, looked and assessed all the curbs and sidewalks that were damaged. They attributed towards Sandy, and we did do that project several years ago. If this got missed, I can look into that. So maybe I'll give you my card and we can talk tomorrow. If there was an oversight, we can look into it. But
Can we also consider putting it on the list, because we have the sidewalk fund and
Yeah,
the.
one way or the other. If
Yeah, one way or the
FEMA
other,
owes
we'll
the
get it
money
squared
or
away.
either way.
Whether it's through FEMA, we'll hope we can get it through FEMA, but if not, we'll do something. All right, thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. I'm here to get my picture on the cover of the Rolling Stones. Scott Gartner, 524 Fielders Lane. It was a very difficult last few weeks for everybody, and I'm sorry that many people have gone through difficult times. Last time I was here, there was an entourage of other Orthodox Jewish people and people supporting the Orthodox Jewish people speaking against hate. I respect the fact that Ms. Barone resigned, but the fact of the matter is she's not a fringe politician, and I am a citizen, and I am a part of this township. She's also a member of the Ocean County Library Commission. She's also she holds a prominent position on the board. She's a board president of the CASA, the court-appointed special advocates for children. And that is, if I'm not mistaken, speaks as a voice in court for abused and neglected foster children. Having said that, I have no doubt that there are Jewish children that might be abused and falling in that system. And as members of the judiciary system here in Toms River, Mr. Mayor and the Legislative Commission, Town Council members, I hereby call on you, asking her to step down for any and all public positions. Number one, in addition, during and throughout the time of the campaign, many things were published and written, and I had a spotlight on myself as well. I don't appreciate the things that were alleged against me at all. I'm going to respect the lack of discourse regarding something that was very dear to me that I wanted to speak to. I'd like to give that person a chance to come clean on his own. I think there's been enough hatred in this area for a lifetime. And I want to see all the council people that are sitting in front of me today serve out their terms and serve the community that they should, that they were elected to do. But in doing so, they have to be honest. And being honest takes a lot of love. And too much hatred. And if I don't feel that that hatred is refuted publicly, then in 2 weeks I'll be back and I'll have to ask for someone else to resign. With my greatest respect and appreciation for everybody in the township, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you hearing my words. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pat?
Pat Klaslow, Ortley Beach. I just have a question. Over in Ortley, as I drive around, I just keep seeing bigger and bigger houses being built. Now, if I go in my backyard or in my front yard and I dig down 1.5 feet, I'm hitting water. So as we're building these bigger and bigger houses, is the pressure from the houses pushing down on the property that we're going to be underwater? Because let's put it this way, we're the cash cow for Toms River, and if we go underwater, you got nothing.
I don't believe that's the case. I'll have our township
just asking.
engineer
I don't
agree
know.
with me, but I've never heard of anything like that, because if there's the high water table, what they typically do is drive pilings in, and so that you have a solid foundation, and that's not gonna cause the property to sink. but I'll ask the township engineer to come up and concur.
I'm not just talking about my project, I'm just talking about the overall
Right,
island.
yeah, I know what you're talking about, and it's not something that's gonna happen.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Anyone else?
Alizar Zorju, Tom's River Bid. Just wanted to announce a new business coming to downtown, and a ribbon cutting we'll be hosting this Friday, the 14th at noon. We're pleased to welcome the Clubhouse of Tom's River. They'll be opening a store among the merchants at the downtown shops at 53 Main. The Clubhouse of Tom's River is an incorporated nonprofit organization, 501c3, that seeks to create a space for artists and musicians to produce, perform, and sell their work. The Clubhouse intends to bolster New Jersey's creators and encourage community engagement with locally created goods and artwork. So this group has already opened. They have had a soft opening and several events so far, and they'll be running concerts and events throughout the rest of their days in downtown. So please join us on Friday, the 14th at noon at 53 Main Street. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Seeing none, move to executive session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. You can have it if you want. Only because I have halfway late.
Ken, would you do me a favor and unplug that?
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances to discuss matters requiring confidentiality and/or of a privileged nature. And whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Toms River in the County of Ocean and State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council will now conduct a private executive session. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed and/or acted upon is as follows. Matters of personnel, attorney-client privilege, land acquisitions, and contract negotiations. The following specific items to be discussed and/or acted upon are as follows. The executive session minutes review of May 28, 2019, personnel issues of the Township Clerk's Office and the administration, the review of status of all real property acquisitions, review of legal obligations under the Equal Pay Act, and the council action regarding anti-Semitism. It is anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Council that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. Motion to go into executive session was made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilwoman Maruka, with all in favor at 7:02 p.m.
Rather than me saying it is.
It's not your position, so you shouldn't have to appear.
Why don't we all come up here, take our seats?
Do I have a motion to go back into public session? All in favor?
Aye.
The executive session minutes of May 28th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Move the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
And lastly,
Madam Clerk, I'd like to introduce a resolution from the floor. Resolution of the Township Council of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, censoring and demanding the resignation of Daniel T. Roderick from the Township Council for bigoted and conduct demonstrating unfitness for elective office.
I will do a roll call. Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel.
Sadly, yes.
Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
No. This is, excuse me, this
Just
is
speak
what
up to
happens
vote.
when you
Just
run
speak up
against
to
the
vote.
establishment. I've never said anything bigoted or wrote anything bigoted, and this is what happens when you run against the establishment. So I respectfully vote no. Actually, this is outrageous, and it's just another political hit job, and I'm very disappointed. No one in executive session could point out something specifically that was bigoted in anything that I've ever said or anything I've ever written. And frankly, I'm very disappointed that, that I'm being treated this way.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.